female rap today, it's bold, brash, and everywhere to be seen. But also, it's boxed in. We've gone from Queen Latifah and MC Lyte, who brought social commentary, to Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, who claimed sexual agency on their own terms. And now? Now it feels like the only version of female rap the industry wants to see is half naked, tongue out, and twerking. Let's talk about it. I'm Kayelle, and I'm back with some facts you didn't know, perhaps. The industry sells sex. That's nothing new. Men have been rapping about it since the 80s, and it was widely accepted. But when women do it, it comes with different consequences. This hypersexual image isn't inherently bad. It is quite liberating, I must admit. However, the real problem is that this is the only image we're sold. Today's female rappers are often forced to lead with nudity, grunge, and shock value, just to get attention, just to go viral. One user said, "The over-sexualization of female rap is disgusting. They can rap. I don't need to see her birth candle to listen." And younger generations now grow up thinking, that's all female rap is. Then you see them mimicking their behavior and looks. Another user said, "Cardi B stopped her own child from listening to WAP, but some of you will swear music has no influence on children." Kind of problematic. The rapper 50 Cent also had to say something about it. He said, quote, "Female rappers are being too overly sexual in their music and damaging younger girls." And I definitely see his point. But the way he talks about women in his own music, or the way many male rappers today portray women in their lyrics and videos, isn't exactly educating younger boys in a positive way either. So critical thinking is important here, because we can't ignore how both sides contribute to the bigger picture. Joan Morgan in When Chicken Heads Come Home to Roost mentions hip-hop feminism recognizes the complexity of loving rap while critiquing how it flattens black women's expression. There's liberation, but also a trap. Here's the double standard. The more a woman leans into sex appeal, the less respect she gets, especially from black men and often from white male industry gatekeepers. And if she doesn't, she's simply ignored. Artists like Megan Thee Stallion constantly face scrutiny, not just for what they say, but for what they wear, how they twerk, how they laugh, so basically how they exist. This user said, "Megan gave your trauma zine and y'all paid it dust, called it a flop and then told her to go back to fun music. She did, now you're mad. Megan is very capable of making the conscious rap y'all so desperately want, but she knows y'all ask for shit and then won't stream." Meanwhile, men like Future and Playboy Cardi get to be raunchy, misogynistic, and mysterious without losing their lyrical genius badge. In Check It While I Wreck It, Poe explains, "Black women in hip-hop fight not just to be seen, but to be heard, respected, and not reduced." Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown kicked open the doors of sexual agency in the 90s, when it was truly controversial. They weren't out there shaking ass, they were reclaiming it. But now it feels like it's not controversial anymore. It's expected and recycled. Nothing new. But most importantly, it's not balanced by other stories. Where are today's Queen Latifahs, the MC Lytes, the Lauryn Hills? Why aren't rappers like Rhapsody, No Name, or Little Sims being pushed into the spotlight with the same energy? Huh? Let's talk about Doechii. She's bold, experimental, raw, genre-bending, and wildly talented. But scroll through the comments and it's not her bars being discussed, it's her skin tone. Once again, how is that critique? That's colorism. If Doechii were light-skinned, would the hate be this loud? Her sound and style in many ways mirror Doja Cat's Planet Her era. Artsy, offbeat, lyrical. By the way, that was an enjoyable album, not gonna lie. But Doja wasn't dragged nearly as hard. And I mean this as a comparison, so that people don't feel attacked. And Ice Spice, she was celebrated before she had to prove anything lyrically, unlike Flo Milli, for example. This isn't about jealousy, it's more about pattern recognition. And I know, talking about colorism makes some feel uncomfortable, but this is unfortunately still something that needs to be addressed. The music industry has a long history of favoring lighter-skinned women, particularly those who align with the Eurocentric beauty standards. Dark-skinned women, especially those who do not conform to mainstream notions of femininity, are often overlooked or required to work twice as hard for half the recognition, as Trevor B. Lindsay also says. Doechii's rise challenges these norms. Her performance at NPR's Tiny Desk was not just a showcase of her talent, but a reclamation of power, a declaration that Black women, in all their shades and complexities, are worthy of celebration and respect. Yet, despite her achievements, she faces unwarranted hate. Critiques have targeted her music, dismissing it as too deep or labeling it Harriet Tubman music, a term meant to insult her for infusing her work with thought-provoking themes. So when Doechii spits with power and dresses how she wants, but still gets erased or attacked, we can't call that backlash, no. That's the system doing what it always does, rewarding familiarity and punishing difference. And now, I want to come back to the other rap genre. Conscious rap hasn't disappeared in the female rap realm. It's just not invited to the party, you could say. No name dropping bar for bar brilliance barely makes a wave. Rhapsody winning a Grammy nomination, crickets. Little Sims dropping a cinematic masterpiece, mostly UK love. And although not Black, I still want to mention MIA and give her a shout out since we're already talking about female conscious rap. Where is she now? The industry surely doesn't hate these women. However, they just don't invest in them. Sex sells faster and cliques rule culture. That's their mentality. And now, I'm not anti-sex rap. I'm anti-one-dimensional rap. Female rappers deserve to explore every corner of the spectrum. Sexy, spiritual, silly, sad, political, playful, powerful, and whatever else they like. Because I know that most of our female rappers can rap about more and want to rap about other things than sex. But I guess they may be the puppets of the industry? Maybe. Anyways, please, we need more range, more freedom, more women telling their stories on their terms. How about that? So, to close it off, female rap isn't the problem. The way the media repackages it is. Oh, and who are your favorite female rappers? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching, take care, and peace.